Okay, my faithful wife Nancy here is holding the camera while I'm going to take a look at installing the windows in this component. Now there are a lot of windows in this kit. I've already installed part one of the windows. Now windows can have one part. Actually, windows can have two parts, the window and then the frame. Or in the case of HO, we actually bring it to as many as 5 parts, where you have a sill coming out as well as an upper trim piece and all kinds of things going on. These windows are very, very fine. If you look at the mullions, I don't know if you can see them. These are cut out of something called laser board. And what we do is when we cut our window sheets, which look like this, it's not only laser board, but we've doubled the thickness to give them more to make them a little bit more substantial and give you more of a gluing edge to poke into the to place and glue into the wall sections. You cannot see it, but there is a designation down here. Now these have been painted already with the paint that we had been speaking about earlier, and it says LBSS. That means laser board sticky sided, which means the front of the laser board looks like this, but the back, look how funky that is. That's because that's where the laser marks are, but it's also a self-adhesive masking that comes off if you should choose to put glass, window glass, or acetate into each of these windows once they're installed. So the idea is to take your single-edged or your X-Acto knife, whatever you happen to have handy. I have this handy right now, and carefully lay them down. Let me get this in frame. Come a little closer there, sweetie. And simply, carefully look for the little nipple or the little sprue that is on each of the window pieces. You can see that right there. Now what we do is we engineer all the kits so there's only one sprue of connecting material, so you don't have to keep cutting all around the whole thing to remove it from the sheet, because once it's removed, you really should, and this is the bigger version of the sanding stick because I don't have my little one here, you really should take this and just lightly take off that sprue, because that little sprue, that little nipple that sticks out, actually changes the dimensional size of the window. And this way, when you put it in the building, let's see, here's another wall right here I haven't started yet. This should be the window that would fit into this opening, just like that. And look how perfect that is. Now, if it's a little loose, it's a good thing. I like this. This is perfect, because when you add glue to the inside of the surround, it'll act as a fillet and actually fill it in just a little bit. Now let's move over here, Nan, with the camera. Now this is my little piece of cellophane with my glue on it. Now if you know, I'm using a stick here that's about a 32nd by a 32nd. This to me is about the best way to apply glue. And you can see, I don't know if you see a little bit on the tip, but I will apply glue around not generally the 4 sides of the hole, because it's not really necessary. It's not going to undergo any real stress or anything as far as it goes. Hopefully we're getting this on camera. I do not know. And I generally will go on 2 sides and then take the same window that we just had. I'll wipe it down just a little bit to remove excess glue. Take the window, make sure you have the proper side out. And this has been painted. And the whole idea is that it matches reasonably well with the front of the building. And I will place the window in the opening. But I'll put it down on the table. And I will make sure this particular window, which is over here, okay, I will take a little stub of scrap wood, of molding, maybe a corner post or something, and I will push this all the way forward in the opening. The idea is once that's in, it is now flush with the face of the building. Because sooner or later we're going to want to add some trim around that window area, and you don't want to have the window look like it's recessed. It's as simple as that. As far as whether you want to put glass in this or not, that's another story, and we'll get to that later. I personally, I'm not sure I want to put glass in these windows. A lot of times, especially in N scale, it's not that necessary. And a lot of times you'll want little pieces that you can tuck in there, and sometimes, I'm a cheater, I would tend to take the back of the wall section and put one big piece of acetate going across several openings at once, and nobody's ever picked up on that. So anyhow, that's a simple way of installing laser cut windows. Now this is without the frame. Here I have on this wall, you can see them without the frame right there, and we could see them when I added the frame right there. And you can see it does add dimension to have the frames. The frames, by the way, because they're on LB, laser board SS, sticky sided, do not have to be glued. Now, the adhesion is not as strong as if you were to use glue, but if this were a freight car or something you'd handle, that would be a concern. Being as it is on a structure, once these are pressed into position and aligned, which are easily done, there is plenty of adhesion for something that is basically just going to sit right there on your layout. So that is one look at how to do windows, especially in the building that is, oh man, so demanding as far as how many windows go in this thing. So that's it for this short snippet, and I'll be back to talk about the next aspect of this kit on the next part of this video.